Politics in the ancient Roman Republic was full of trickery and dirty games. The patricians and tribunes of the people continually strived to outwit one another. In this video, I explore one effective trick that the patricians employed to ensure that only members of their class were elected consular tribunes, even though the office had been created to accommodate the aspiration of the plebeians to have more say in the running of the republic. I welcome you to my YouTube channel where I explore ancient texts. The ancient texts I explore in this channel have existed for thousands of years. At the moment, I'm going through From the Founding of the City by Titus Livius or Livy. This is a collection of books that was written about 2000 years ago. It covers the history of Rome from its founding by Romulus in the 750s BCE to the time when Augustus was emperor, which was close to 0 AD. If you have not subscribed, subscribe so that you don't miss any of the videos I publish. The ancient Roman Republic was unique in the era it existed. While most of its neighbors were ruled by absolute monarchs, most of them hereditary, the people in charge of the republic were elected and the power was distributed to various offices. While this arrangement gave Romans more control on how the state was run, it created an environment where politicians employed different strategies to gain and maintain power. Of course, the struggle was mostly between the patrician and the plebeian classes. Until 440s BCE, the consuls had much of the power in the republic. They were elected annually from the patrician class. The plebeians, on the other hand, had the tribunes, tasked with protecting the rights of the ordinary people. The tribunes exercised oversight authority over the consuls. They were also elected annually. In 444 BCE, the plebeians started to demand that the office of consul should be open to them as well. The patricians and the plebeians negotiated and had a new office, the consular tribune, created with some of the consul's powers transferred to it. Between 3 and 6 individuals will be elected to hold this office. Both patricians and plebeians qualified to be elected to this office. However, the patricians were keen not to let any plebeians be elected into this office. Initially, through propaganda, they made the plebeians believe that none of them was qualified for the office. After a few elections of no plebeians offering themselves for election, some got enough confidence to stand. Given that the plebeians were the majority in the republic, it was almost foregone that the plebeians candidates would win. The patricians employed many tricks to stop this. One of those that Livy describes is using weak plebeian candidates to discredit strong plebeian candidates. When elections of consular tribunes approached, the patricians identified plebeians who were likely to be elected and also those that they could prop up. They propped up some plebeian candidates for two reasons. One, to act so badly so that their behavior is considered representative of that of the entire plebeian group of candidates. Livy writes, while the plebeians had been so far victorious as to secure the election which they preferred, the result of that election was a victory for the Senate. Contrary to all expectations, 3 patricians were elected consular tribunes. It was stated that the patrician had recourse to a trick. The Aesili actually accused them of it at the time. They were charged with having introduced a crowd of unsuitable candidates among those who were worthy of being elected. And the disgust felt at the notoriously low character of some of these candidates alienated the people from the plebeian candidates as a body. The second purpose was to make the patrician candidates stand out and shine, making them more attractive to the general population, including the plebeians. Livy writes, accordingly, they had excited disgust against all plebeian candidates, however worthy, by means of those who were perfectly worthless. So now the leaders of the Senate appeared as candidates, surrounded by everything that could lend distinction or strengthen personal influence. They secured all the places and prevented the entrance of any plebeian. This trick worked for several years, making sure that the consular tribunes were always of the patrician class. This was, however, not the only trick that the patricians employed in keeping the plebeians away from power. There were many others that Livy shares in his books. If you found this video interesting, take a moment to strike the like button. I also welcome your comment. See you in the next video.